One guy on my Byzantine EU4 video said, Habibi, Zoroastrian Persia right now. So that's what we're doing. We're going to play Zoroastrian Persia.
In the new EU4 DLC, King of Kings, Persia got a major rework, getting a whole new mission tree with the ability to go the fringe religion of Zoroastrian. In today's video, we'll be exploring that entire mission tree in a multiplayer setting. We will be starting as the Timurid splinter nation of Ajam, as they currently have the easiest route to form Persia. We will have to overcome multiple enemies and try to be #1 great power in the world using this brand new mission tree. Since this is a 50-player multiplayer game on my Discord server, we are using a mod that improves the quality of life for multiplayer and breaks up the Timurids while slotting a smaller Transoxiana and a bigger Afghanistan. Will we become a top great power in this campaign? And is the new Persian mission tree as overpowered as people are saying? Find out in this video, where we will go through my entire campaign playing as Zoroastrian Persia. Our first objective as Ajam is to form Persia.
We need these 3 provinces. I think we should do as much as the Timurid missions as possible, because Ajam gets the Timurid mission tree. Like, look, if we have 40k army, we can get a really good general, morale of armies. We get stability level to 2. We get a bunch of claims. But once we form Persia, we will take the new Persian ideas, and then we will go through the mission tree to become Eranshahr. But the thing is, we aren't going to take the Eranshahr ideas. I took a look at them last night to see if it's worth going for them. I don't think they're worth them, chat. I don't think they're worth. Oh, and everyone's making plays already, dude. This is the multiplayer. We gotta play fast. We gotta play fast here.
And playing fast is exactly what we did. After rolling for a general using the Emir's estate privilege.
Siege!
My disappointment is immeasurable.
0 shock, 0 siege. You're joking.
We used our mission tree to get claims and then ate Fars, Kerman, and Karakalunu.
We've consolidated pretty well. I think we're gonna just settle with this. We're gonna take 2 provinces from bypass just to keep our deal with Georgia, who wants his node, this node. As long as he doesn't push out of here, we can be fine.
Habibi,
Yeah,
please leave.
I am. Yeah. You saw with QQ. I could have taken way more. I only took my node.
I know.
If you watch my live streams on Twitch, then you would know that this Georgia player is my arch nemesis, Svevlad. We have faced this player multiple times on this channel, like when I was Ottomans and he destroyed me as Prussia, or when we had an insane back and forth when I was Byzantium and he was Ethiopia, or when I used colonial forces to beat him as Portugal when he was Arabia. And that's just encounters that are on this YouTube channel, but we have had many more. This guy is actually really good at the game, and in this campaign, we agreed to a cordial start with agreed borders. But with him rushing to Shirvan, the location of Baku Ashtaga, great project that gives Zoroastrian nations plus 10 discipline, it was only inevitable that he will be an enemy at some point in this campaign.
We've clicked enough of our Ajam missions. I think there's nothing else we can get. So we're gonna click high income because Persia doesn't get that. And we are going to form Persia, guys. Consolidate Persia. Gains claims 32 development on random provinces. We should wait to click that though, because I haven't full cored everything.
Since I rushed to form Persia and ate a lot of land without using any vassals, we were slightly behind in admin power. We opted to only half state our lands until we got Tech 5 admin so we can start getting ideas in case of a player war. The next mission we popped was our religious direction, which opens up the branching religious tree of Persia, where we have the choice of picking Sunni, Shia, or Zoroastrian. We of course picked Zoroastrian. This mission starts a chain of events that changes our state religion to Zoroastrian while spawning an insane amount of religious rebels. Once we are Zoroastrian and have dealt with all rebellions, we got the event to change our nation to Eranshahr, or the land of the Aryans.
Guys, it's time to change our name.
From another node.
Eranshahr.
It's
We're not gonna take that idea
60%
though.
minus on trade power.
Based
Although we spawn a religious center of conversion that will automatically convert some provinces, we had a lot of provinces we needed to manually convert, and in the meanwhile, our income was seriously hurting due to intolerance of the Islamic faith. Next, we click the Consolidate Persia and Butcher the Black Sheep missions, which gives 32 development randomly across Persia, 100 admin points, and many permanent claims.
All right, we got our first thing. We're going to go with the missionary strength here, guys, just so we can start converting faster, because it's really important we convert even faster. Okay, and we're going to go for the next site. The next site, where are you? Laristan. Convert. Put missionary strength. Get rid of missionary strength over here. And the next thing we'll do is goods produced. And then the next one after that we'll do is construction costs.
Right now, we were concerned that one of our neighbors might attack us while we were converting, as we were still relatively weak.
Drooks,
Yes.
what are you doing on my border?
I'm just killing some rebels. I won't take on you.
Hey, I'll send some troops to help against Delhi. We can stay
No,
friendly.
I'm allied with him.
You're allied with him? Okay, cool. Just in
Yeah.
case. I don't know what your deal is with him.
I'm more afraid with a rat.
Where you're at? Okay. Well, I can help
Yes.
you defensively if you need me, okay?
Defensive alliance was secured with the Timurid king in Transoxiana, making us feel a little more secure while we continued the converting and building up of some temples and workshops. We took 10 loans to be able to click the Shahanshah's Coffer mission, which gave us stability, construction cost, construction time, and dev cost for 10 years, stacking with our high income mission we clicked earlier as Ajam.
Watch this, chat. Watch this.
Funny
That
bomb.
best new feature. Watch this. You go like this. Deet, deet, deet. Boom. Feed, my child. Feed. Eat up. Eat your greens.
We opted for a very economical build in this game in order to maximize the income from the very rich Persia region. This got us to our next mission: construct great buildings that required 30 of our provinces to have at least one building. This mission gives the very powerful merchant guild's estate privilege, the Great Works of Iran, which reduces development costs permanently on mountains and desert provinces.
Dude, income's booming.
The next mission we clicked was compete with Hormuz, which required control of more than 75% in the Hormuz Strait. This mission gave us 11 development in the province of Moghustan. Now, a message from Donald Trump.
I will pay for the embargo of Georgia with these imaginary gems. Make them suffer.
It's not making them suffer. I need more level 3 grades.
The next mission we clicked was build the fire temples, which required us to have 30 temples in our provinces. This mission gave us even more random development throughout our lands. Development we were getting from our mission tree was starting to stack up, especially considering we were also manually developing for relatively cheap, and it was only going to get cheaper. This is also a good time to talk about the mechanics of our unique government type, the Asha monarchy. This government has access to 3 unique fire abilities. One related to military, giving +1 monthly military power and +1 dice roll on owned territory. One related to diplomacy, giving +1 monthly dip power and -10% global dev cost. And finally, one related to admin power, giving +1 monthly admin power and 10% reform progress growth. In this game, the war between Ottomans and Mamluks was so close that both players died, and this somehow led to Castile controlling Jerusalem.
What is Jerusalem worth?
Nothing. Everything.
Okay, we've seen some pretty wild Jerusalems on this channel, but Castile into Jerusalem? This is supposed to be Spain. They're now the Kingdom of Jerusalem. These guys, the LARP has gone too far, guys. And also Andalusia formed too, so there's an Andalusia and a Jerusalem in this world.
That is cursed.
Yeah, this is what happens when Ottoman and Mamluks die in each other's arms. They just died in each other's arms, and now all of this land is just open land. Europe looks so messed up, dude. Switzerland is the biggest nation in Europe. Switzerland. And France is coming back, finally, after years of 4v1ing.
The next missions we completed were Center of Culture, which required 25 development in our capital, Checks and Balances, which gave us a Grand Vizier and some legitimacy, and Cultured Court, which made hunting accident events less likely to occur. However, the chill times of building up with no contention were coming to an end, and we were attacked by the Rassids.
Rassids have attacked us. Rally the warriors. We can click this mission now. Gain a pretty good general.
We also clicked another mission that gave us the temporary missionary and missionary strength. Our first engagement with the Rassids was on the province of Basra, a March province. The Rassids had higher morale, but we had higher discipline and a better general, leading to victory on the first battle. We continued the push into the desert dunes of Aflaj, where once again we met the Arabs on the field of battle. The Rassids committed even harder for victory, hiring multiple mercenary companies, forcing us back and forcing us to hire some mercenaries of our own. And we won again on Basra. We pushed into the desert again, but this time we started sending stab-hit peace deals to Rassids for max money, which he eventually accepted. Our first player war in this campaign was a victory. And there's no doubt in my mind that we were carried by the general gifted to us by our mission tree. Our economy was still on the rise, and it was going to continue to rise, just like my subscriber count, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter. And hey, if you're a new viewer and you like this content and want to see more, make sure to subscribe. Our build-up continued, now with a focus on barracks and regimental camps, because we were preparing to start a war of our own. We completed another mission that gave a privilege that increases religious unity from Muslim provinces. However, I did not take it since I wanted to convert all our provinces to Zoroastrian. We now had the ability to invite people to the Zoroastrian faith through diplomacy.
Who wants Zoro? I can give it now.
Do it.
Yes!
Uh,
Yes!
what did
It
it do?
worked!
Mewar accepted the call to the Zoroastrian faith, giving us access to another one of our faith aspects.
This is so
It's
basic.
okay, we don't need the last ritual, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll give you some
Even
money.
Zoro.
We unlocked even more missions, getting some power and some bonuses to our special abilities.
With a defensive alliance secured with the Kingdom of Mewar, our eastern borders were secure and static for now. And in order to get access to two very powerful economic missions in our mission tree, we needed dyes. We currently had some of the finest cloth and silk in the world, but without a steady supply of local dyes, we could not produce a good amount of Persian rugs, a staple of the Persian economy. But guess who had two dye-producing provinces right next to our border? It was Georgia, also the owner of the Baku Ashtag Great Monument. Our diplomacy, religion, and economy were all pointing to a war with Georgia. It was inevitable. We hired mercenaries to add to our military forces, took Tech 11 ahead of time, and attacked Georgia through his vassal Bitlis. But this Georgia was no joke. Georgia's terrain is incredibly mountainous, meaning offensives would lead to battles on unfavorable terrain. In the province of Astara, the Georgian army held us back, and our advance was forced to retreat. So instead of trying to push through the mountainous Caucasus, we instead diverted our focus to the Anatolian lands of Georgia, starting with the Hisan Kaifa stronghold, once the last bastion of the Ayyubid dynasty, now a bloody battlefield and a war between two unrelated nations. Successfully pushed back the Georgian army and continued the aggression towards the mountains of Mush. We even won a battle on the mountain province of Erzurum. Despite having a huge amount of Georgian lands occupied, we were still in negative war score due to me making the mistake of making Astara, the mountain province in the Caucasus, the war goal. Then Georgia took Tech 12 and forced us to retreat back, while we also took Tech 12. Funnily enough, we both took it ahead of time
at exactly the same time. Except Georgia was a little faster than me.
Oh no. It's ogre.
Why doesn't it work?
Bro.
I lost my
At least-
3-star.
Allied with Sweden.
I mean, I have 100k. I thought you had way more.
You have
Oh my
100k?
God.
Yes.
That's not 100k.
But it's with vassals.
Despite dominating Georgia for majority of the war, he was now sending stab hit peace deals for max money, which after we lost another battle, we decided to accept. Although we lost this war, Georgia took a huge amount of debt that was unsustainable and unpayable. Georgia then took even more debt and declared war on us in a truce break. He held off his initial push into our Iraqi lands. Then faced him once again in Syria. Georgia was not ready for that one dice roll on own territory. Knowing that Georgia was in huge amounts of debt, it was our turn to stab hit him. Georgia then was immediately attacked by the Russian Empire, which he unconditionally surrendered to. It was clear that Georgia was about to bankrupt. We truce broke the Georgian kingdom, and with him having very little money and eventually bankrupting, it was a very easy war. The Shah of Eranshahr was victorious, and Georgia was defeated.
Okay, finally, the war with Georgia is over. It's all done. Georgia's dead. It's over. Fini. We can do unlock the Merchant Guild's estate privilege, promote Persian rugs.
This estate privilege gives every cloth, dyes, and silk province a local 15% goods produced modifier. After multiple years of war, a peasants' war fired in our empire. It wasn't too hard to deal with, and our economy was still in a decent shape given the circumstances. Russia and Hungary took advantage of the broken Georgian kingdom, invading them. Meanwhile, our Zoroastrian ally in Mewar was invaded by Arabia and Transoxiana. While we were fighting Georgia, we weren't able to help them. And since we weren't able to protect them, we were once again the only Zoroastrian nation in the world. With Transoxiana now contesting our trade, it seemed like our relations were starting to sour. We now had to focus inwards in order to take on the outward forces that may come.
We're getting so rich right now. This is so awesome. We can just have like half a session of doing what we're doing right now. We're set. Is my Persia strong now? They said it was weak, dude. They said it was weak. They said it was weak. They said it was weak.
With our new wealth, we began upgrading the monument in Shirvan in order to get that juicy +10 discipline. But because we were getting quality from this monument, we can focus our next idea group on quantity. Our next focus on our buildup was completing manufactories and making sure that we can build them even in provinces where we had no more building slots, either by deleting some temples or by developing them up more. Every time our truce was up with Georgia, it meant more land for Eranshahr.
This is the Persia experience. Jeez. More.
Eranshahr was going through a golden age of building, innovation, and technology.
We can manipulate the price. Okay, what do we produce the most? We produce a lot of silk. Yeah, we produce 65 silk. So let's click this mission.
The rugs of Persia have become world-renowned, and we were now able to restrict the production of rugs in order to increase the price of silk substantially, which is what we did.
Okay, what's the price of silk now? Holy, what? This is a mission?
Look at the price of silk. We now had singular provinces giving us double digits of ducats monthly. What is that? What is that income? That mission alone increased income by 100 ducats. For 50 years? Could get silk to become worth even more through our mission tree. However, that would require one nation to control 3 different provinces in China, as well as us getting 3 trade-in bonuses from our economy. Very recently, Arabia declared war on me. Okay, dude. I want to get my coffee. No time for coffee. The Arabs were coming, and they were coming with a fury. Arabia took Miltech 15 ahead of time, and we were still a bit away from getting it ourselves. Arabia wanted to unite with their brothers in Syria, but we could not allow that to happen. While we waited for the tech, we rushed our wonder in Shirvan. Arabia had pushed all the way to Iraq, and we still did not have Tech 15. September chat, September. To wait.
Oh my god. Why are these disloyal?
There we go. We're ready.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay?
We immediately engaged Arabia in the southern parts of Iraq, taking 2 battles at the same time. We had better generals, higher discipline, and 2 points of morale higher than Arabia. They had no chance against our quality. The Arabian army was in complete disarray, getting routed from Baghdad. We were able to push them all the way out of Syria without a fight, and once again engage them in the mountain province of Man. And even though this was an unfavorable battle for the Persian army, we just outmatched them in so many ways, becoming victorious. We really didn't want much land from Arabia here due to having governing capacity issues because we used expanded infrastructure way too much, but we were getting close to getting enough war score to enforce on him. And after taking another battle on Tabuk, we were able to get our demands for a couple provinces, max money, and some war reps.
Where are you going?
Vincent, we can't live side by side.
Vincent!
Our temperaments are incompatible, you must admit that.
After clicking another mission that gives me a bunch of money, firing our military reforms, it was time to punish Transoxiana, who is stealing from our main trade node. We pushed through the mountains of Mashhad, where not only did we outnumber them, we also had better quality, having 12 discipline higher, as well as 0.5 more morale. However, we stopped sieging Mashhad because the war goal of this war was the province of Khiva, a holy site for the Zoroastrian faith. We engaged Transoxiana on Bukhara as well as the province adjacent to it, engaging in 2 battles at the same time. Overwhelming the Transoxiana army, successfully sieging the city of Bukhara. And with that, we enforced peace for Khiva. Eranshahr here has showed himself as one of the strongest nations in the world. But what would be next? Wouldn't making Transoxiana our enemy cause them to potentially start a coalition against us? We attempted to reconcile with them by releasing some land to make the border gore a little less ugly. But what happens next to this Persia? You'll have to find out in the next and final part of this series where I play Zoroastrian Persia. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you patrons Amir, Chogos, RVR, Mason and Druska, GigaChat, Hassiam, Will, Henning Ballmark, Zorovia, Hardbam, Fabulous Snail, Beyond, Tonix, Kolkarp, Johan Asklund, Deshaun Moore, Trevor Kosman. Thank you so much for directly supporting this channel, and if you would like to directly support this channel, check out my Patreon, link in the description. You'll also get some cool perks on top of that. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.